In this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about how I'm getting prepared for getting COVID. Like, just in case I get it, I want to be like in my best physical condition and ready to fight this thing. Because from what I understand, this is going to be a battle. So the first thing I want to just sort of put out there on the table is, there are tons of things that we can do. I'm going to go through those, but, just go ahead and accept the fact that there's some things we're not going to be able to change, right? So we can't change our age, we can't change our race, we can't change our gender. And so to the extent that COVID is impacting those different groups in different ways, we already know we can't do anything about that, right? So let's just take that off the table and let's focus on the things that we can do something about. So first, this is the one that I want to start with. And this is probably the one that you hear the most, conversation about, and that's people with underlying conditions. So one of the things you really want to take into account is, hey, what are the underlying conditions that I have, pre-existing conditions, what's my family history? What is it that is going to make me a little bit more susceptible to really being hit hard by COVID-19? You want to get together with your physician. If you haven't had a checkup in a while, that's the thing you want to do. You want to get your heart rate checked, get your blood pressure checked, get your cholesterol checked. You want to know that if you're a person with asthma or who has had asthma in the past or some other respiratory issues, if you're a smoker, this disease really impacts your lungs and then sort of spreads out to do damage on the rest of your body. And so you really want to take those sorts of things into account and go ahead and sort of say, okay, doctor, tell me how I look right now. I've got these issues. What should I be doing to make sure that I'm minimizing my risk? Because we already know here are my individual and personal problems. So that first thing, go ahead and check the box on that first thing. All right, number 2. And this is one of those things that I don't think we pay enough attention to either, and that is making sure we are getting enough rest. I know it's not one of those things that's always a priority for me, but I'm doing better. If you are worn out and just barely able to hang on right now because you're doing so much and you're tired all the time, how is your immune system supposed to be able to fight something off when it can barely keep you going as it is? So you want to make sure that you're giving your body a chance to rest from what you're doing throughout the day. So whatever that looks like for you, you need to put that high up on your list because your immune system needs a fighting chance. And one of the ways that you can best do that is to make sure that you're giving your body plenty of rest. All right, number 3, and this sort of goes hand in hand with that whole doctor's visit, making sure that if you have any deficiencies, are there certain vitamins you should be taking? So for instance, vitamin D has typically been one of those things that I have been low on. So I'm actually thinking about, getting checked out to make sure that I'm not deficient in any areas. And do I need to take a multivitamin on a daily basis, or is there something else I need to be taking? Again, doing that under a doctor's order so that I know that I'm not just arbitrarily doing some stuff, but actually that there is someone who has said, yes, Sheila, here's something you need to take. So if your doctor has told you that you should be taking a vitamin, take a vitamin. If your doctor has told you multivitamin versus whatever, if it's just a singular vitamin, like vitamin D versus a multivitamin, or if you need to be taking iron, whatever it is, go ahead and take it. In the past, I actually had an iron deficiency, and so I had to go over to the cancer hospital, and they would actually stick an IV in my arm and just give me iron infused directly into my veins, because that is how low my iron was. So if I were still in that condition now, you can best believe it is something that I would stay on top of. But I'm not. That's not a condition that I have any longer. And so that's not something that I am as concerned about. So if you've got any sorts of deficiencies that you need to take care of those babies. Go ahead and knock that out. Okay, this next one is gonna sound like, hey, you went for a run, so yeah, you might be dehydrated. But you know what? We tend to be thirsty more than we are hungry, and we usually eat instead of drinking. And so one of the things we can really do to sort of, keep our cells really hydrated and the rest of our body really hydrated is to drink water. And that is something I've been trying to do more of on a daily basis for me. But again, it goes along with making sure that your immune system is in top shape and ready to go. So if you're dehydrated, you are going to feel tired. You're going to have less energy. So how are you supposed to give your body a fighting chance if, again, your body's already tired and dehydrated and you just want to lie down? And, so no. Think about fueling your body with the proper foods, but also really work on making sure your body is hydrated, because that's typically one of those things, like when you go back and look at what physicians and dietitians and nutritionists are saying, we're not lacking on the eating part. Okay, us Americans, that's not generally where we're lacking. We're lacking on making sure that we're getting an adequate amount of water. So work on that one. All right, next up, you want to follow a regular exercise routine. Like, I'm not going to get into a whole lot of detail and tell you what that needs to look like, but it does need to have the cardiovascular piece, so you're getting the aerobic exercise in. You also need to have the strength training piece, okay? And I have been working look y'all, I've been working really hard on doing that. Yeah, you see that? Wait, let me make sure it looks really good. The strength training piece and the stretching. So that is the one that I have really been working on lately. Again, just to focus on the whole body and not just one particular aspect of the exercise routine, but all three of those. Because again, you want to think about really making sure that your body is in the best possible condition that it can be in. You want to be thinking, if this thing hits me, am I ready? Am I ready? And then the last thing I want to talk about is reducing stress. Like, stress is as bad for us as eating the bad stuff, or not drinking, or drinking a bunch of alcohol, or taking, stuff you shouldn't be taking. But stress can do so much damage on our cells. Like, that's already been proven. And so whatever your way is for managing that, now is the time to be able to say, hey, I need to get my prayers in every night, or I need to get my meditation in when I first wake up in the morning. Like, whatever it is that you use, now is the time to keep using that. Now is the time to double down on that. Like, you cannot afford to be in a state where you're not taking care of your body and you're not taking care of your mind. So you need to be focusing on both of those. So those are the tips that I have. Like I said, that is what I'm really trying to make sure that I'm doing in my life, trying to make sure that I'm checking the box on all of those so that I'm really prepared and that I'm ready to go. Because I think we all need to be thinking about that, not just wearing the face mask and not just washing our hands, but we need to be saying, if it hits, am I prepared? Like, just like with anything else, am I prepared? Am I doing the best to make sure I'm prepared? So I hope these tips help you out. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, okay? That's a two-step process. And check out some of my other videos. Come back soon, and I don't really know what else to say, so peace out.